This is my 2011 Hustler X1. It has 844 hours. And the end of last season, I started noticing a little bit of an oil leak on one of the pumps. So I don't really need it for at least another month. It's the beginning of March right now, but I wanted to go ahead and get a jump on it and get some stuff out of the way and try to clean it up and get an idea of where it's leaking from. The seal kit from Hydro Gear has several different seals in it, so hopefully that will cover what I need. But let's go ahead and start taking it apart and see if we can figure out what's going on. All right, so we get this top bar out of the way here. So there's nuts on the bottom of this, so we got to back that up. This is 1/2 inch. I already loosened these actually. Actually, I think it might be a better idea to start with these big ones on the outside. And these are actually 14 millimeter. Because there's one of these little ones that I just can't, really not the greatest way to get to it. I mean, I could, but working harder than I need to. So I think if we crack this loose, we can kind of tip it up. Or not need to disconnect any of that at all, because it's just hoses and wires and whatnot. Let's see. Okay, there's another 2 down here. See if I can get to it without having to pull the yellow piece. This is a situation where I just kind of got to do it by hand. I'd have a little more room if I took these yellow covers off, but sometimes the power tool is just a little too big. Yeah, we didn't need to take those. We didn't need to take those other ones off. I mean, it might help a little bit with some flexibility, but yeah. So we'll go ahead and get this fan guard out of the way. All right, let's go ahead and zip this off. And I had to use an impact on that because it wants to spin the whole pump. This is what I'm seeing here. Definitely seems like it's coming from high up. There is an O-ring that sits under here that I think may be the culprit. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the nut back on here so I don't tear these threads up. And let's see if we can make this work. That was kind of violent. Yep, that works. 1/2 inch. You know, before I do anything more, I'm going to zip these back in just so it's sealed off. And we're going to clean the top of this thing off because it seems like we're kind of getting into the thing here and I don't want to contaminate the oil any more than I have to. I think I'm pretty confident that this is where it's coming from. Seems like it's pretty high up, seeing that it's at the topmost part of the pump that probably not leaking anywhere else lower down. And I'll go ahead and put the part number of the pump up on the screen. I had a picture of one of the stickers that comes on there. I actually just stuck it on the black bar that we removed first. All right. We got that cleaned up somewhat. Let's see what's under here. Yeah, this is the O-ring that I was suspecting. So yeah, I think it's just this guy here. I'm gonna start with that, and I'm gonna get this back on too. It is kind of making a mess. And we'll go ahead and clean up this bracket. I want to try to get it as clean as I can so that I know if it is still leaking or not. Just give me an idea if it's actually fixed or not. So I actually haven't ordered the seal kit yet. I kind of wanted to get everything taken apart, take a look at it and see where it looked like it was coming from, make sure that there weren't any surprises, but definitely looks like it's coming from the top of the pump. So I'll go ahead and order that seal kit, and then we'll pick up right where we left off. All right, several days later, I am back, and I have the seal kit. So let's get this thing put back together. And I think just from gravity, this thing is going to get oil coming out of it because it's lower than the tank. Wouldn't be an issue if I pulled the whole pump, but I wasn't looking to get into that. Make sure you don't lose the little spring and ball that's right in there. But I'm going to pull this, and I got a little makeshift plug I'm going to try to stick in that hole because that seems to be where the oil comes from. I'll just set this here, and then we'll take this cap and this ring over to the bench. So I want to go ahead and replace this O-ring, and since we already have the cover off, I'm going to change this seal as well because it seems like it could be coming from either one of those. So I just got a big socket for this to go into and a little one that fits perfectly right in that hole. Gonna line those up. Preferably don't hit the cover, but definitely know we want that. The profile of this existing one is pretty square. And this one is also pretty square, but it is significantly smaller than the one that came out of there, so that would not be what we're looking for. These three all seem to be the same. It seems like it started out as being square too. You know, sometimes these kind of just take on a square shape when they've been smushed in there for that long, but it seems like that was actually square to begin with, so a little unsure of what should be going in here. Yeah, I'm just going to use one of these round ones. I mean, the height seems good. I don't know how well I'm getting that angle, but definitely proud of the surface of the cover, so I'm going to go with that. But I'm going to put it aside for now until I put this seal in. I'm going to use a little scrap of 2x4 here to get this in. I think we're good there. I've been playing with these rings a little bit more because looking at this description of the part numbers, I thought that those three were pretty much the same, and I was expecting to see X3 on one of these. But there doesn't seem to be anything that's a duplicate unless I'm missing something. So I took another look at it. One of these three is a little bit bigger than the other two. There's two that seem to be pretty much exactly the same. If I put them together, there's one that just seemed bigger than the rest, and the two smaller ones don't quite fit in. I don't know which one I had originally in. Now that I've grabbed them all, and they're all kind of oily, they kind of needed to really be stretched to fit in there. So I guess the slightly larger of the three is the one I'm going to use. If anybody knows if I'm screwing this up, let me know in the comments. Because yeah, this one definitely seems like it was square originally, and there isn't anything in there that looks square except for that one that's much smaller. So I'm going to roll with this one, I guess. I'm going to make sure I've got a little bit of oil up on this shaft for that new pressed in seal. Make sure our spring and the ball are still there, which they are. There we go. Takes a little playing with it there. Let me grab more towels and clean those up. All right, I got this thing pretty clean now. We're going to put this back on. And then we got that guy there. That washer that I pointed out earlier, that was down on by the base of the engine, was from one of these screws that holds the fuel lines on. All right, well, that's it for the pump. I guess I'll see how it goes throughout the season. Hopefully that's all it was, and if it's something else, then maybe I got to suck it up and take the pump out completely and change every seal that I can and go through it. Hope you found this interesting and maybe it helps somebody out. If anybody does know and they're watching this, like, hey, this guy's a complete idiot, you used the wrong O-ring, let me know. But I think end of the day, it's a piece of rubber that's in there. So I imagine it would do the job, but time will tell. So thanks for watching.